Alright, y'all, welcome back. This is Amanda with Molly Cole Creations. We are back for day number 10. We are doing some tiered tray decor. I love me a tiered tray for every season, every occasion, for any reason. Me and my friend Brenda got together. This is part of the collab of 12 days of Christmas DIYs. I'm just showing you a little bit of where I'm going with this. I have showed you these transfers that I purchased from IOD, Iron Orchid Designs, and I am bound and determined to use every single one of them because they cost a fair amount of money and they are absolutely beautiful. So I'm pulling out some scrap wood, some old spindles that I cut down some chairs last year, and I'm still going through them. I decided to use this kind of, I think it's called linen. It's by Rust-Oleum. It's an off-white. And so I'm giving a lot of these just a base coat. I'm just doing base coats in everything to start out. I do a lot of it in the linen, and then I'm doing a little bit in some red and some green. Now this little treasure with the bird on it, it came from a garage sale. I don't know what it was intended for necessarily. It is quite heavy. It just needed, it's darling as it is, but it just needed a little bit of sprucing up. And I thought, when I saw the bird, I had it just in my storage thinking, oh, this will be maybe a fun spring project, but then I thought, no, this is going to be like a cardinal. So that's where we're going with that. I also have these what are they, thread spools? Are they spools? Is that what you call them? Anyway, I have a few sizes of those that I paint, and I'm painting one of my spindles in this green. This green is by DIY, and it's almost gone. So I'm just kind of using what I have left. The color is Avery, but it's a very, very beautiful green. So then I found these little blocks that I have just had and been using in miscellaneous projects over the years. But I thought I could make some cute little presents with them. I got a little bit of green, but the beauty of the DIY paints is I can just wipe it off. So that worked. The red is the Folk Art Imperial, and it's basically the red I've been using. And this little block, you can see my daughter got too. She already pre-decorated it for me. I asked her if it was okay if I painted over it. She said it was. So this actually took several coats to color her artwork, but that's okay. I love her creativity and her joy in creating, just like mine. Now I got these tiny little knobs, I guess. I don't even know. I'd have to look at the package. They came from Hobby Lobby, just in their unfinished wood, their little packs that they sell there. And I'm going to use them as little legs for the round little riser that also came from, I think I said this was all scrap wood. It's absolutely not all scrap wood. Some of it is, some of it isn't. The little riser just was purchased from the Hobby Lobby. Now I did paint my bird red, but that footage is gone, but you can see that it's done. And those are the little bottle brush trees I'm going to use. I got a pack of bottle brush trees from Amazon. They came in like a gold, like a white, and a green. I'm going to be using kind of the creamy, I said white, it's more like creamy color. And we are going to get those thread spools. Also came in a pack from Amazon. And I have 3 different sizes, and we have 3 different sizes of trees. So that worked out pretty well. I've had this jar for a long time. I usually have beads in it, just unfinished beads, just like for storage purposes. It is from Hobby Lobby. I think it said maybe $3.99. I don't know. But I liked it because the lid is gold. And I'm going to put a transfer on it and then fill it with something. I thought about some little candies or bells. I do end up going with candy in the end because I kept having to dig through them. I'm using the bells right now, but it does look really pretty with bells as well. So I'm cutting up some transfers and just kind of seeing what's going to fit where and what is going to work, and trying to use as many as I could. I toyed back and forth, or I argued in my head with my own self about this tiered tray. I usually make something really kind of cutesy and fun and whimsical because we have little kids, and that's kind of our style of Christmas. But then I was looking at my stuff, and I already have several of those. So I thought we could have just different styles, or I will most likely probably put this one up for sale. Just by the piece. Or maybe as a set. I don't know. But this is the conclusion that I came to, so that I could use all this unfinished wood and our transfers that I was determined to get through, because I know by next Christmas I'm going to want to buy whatever they come out with next year. So yeah, this is just that little musical note stamp I've been using over and over. It came from Temu. It was probably like $1.25, but I'm just using it as a background on this little cutting board, breadboard, whatever you want to call it. And I just am kind of spacing that out. I do it over the entire thing so that I can then place my little Santa transfer. And I just think it gives a really nice background. You can see, I don't know if you remember back on my ornament video on day 1, I showed you I messed up a few of my, I got a page of my transfers stuck to another page, and it damaged a few of them. He was part of that a little mess, but it's okay. I'm still using them, and I kind of fix his boot with some wax a little bit later, so you almost can't really even tell, except that I'm pointing it out and showing it to you. This one is just going to go around. It's like just kind of a frame on this glass jar. And it's just a very beautiful like floral arrangement. And then, like I said, I'm going to fill the jar with something cute. And one by one, I am just, this is the easiest part of the project, is just applying these transfers. I did have to give my wood at least a couple of coats, some more or less, but once they are dry, it's just as simple as using this little transfer stick tool and getting it on there. This one I wanted to sand just a little bit to make those edges a little bit cleaner, so I just pulled out kind of a block sander, and then I took it over to my trash can so I didn't make a mess on my desk. This beautiful Santa, oh my word, he is so cute. I love this one. And I just put him on a block. I didn't measure these because I didn't cut them for this project. They were just pieces that I had cut down. Roughly, I'd say it's probably 4 inches. And it is a 1x4. This little chalkboard piece came from Hobby Lobby. I did purchase this year. I got a few of them. This frame, I think there's one with like a red frame. I don't know. I want to say they were like $2.99, $3.99. I don't recall. It had a hanger on it, and I pulled the hanger off. It was just like stapled to the back. This is the little riser that I mentioned that we painted those little legs for, and we will glue those legs on at some point as well. So I'm just coming up with just a vignette. They can all be used together. They can be used even separately. They're just really nice pieces that all kind of coordinate. I am moving on to wax. This is the Waverly Wax Stain paint. It's not actually wax, it's paint. But y'all know. I always mix mine with water. I water it down. Number one, because it's a little too dark a lot of times, and I don't know, I like to wipe it back. It's easier when it's a little bit watery. And I pretty much wax just about everything, or I paint this on. I'm giving the bird, our cardinal, just some dimension in her feathers, and giving the book pages and those ridges along the book edge some dimension. And I do wipe it just with a baby wipe or a wet paper towel, or damp. I wouldn't say it's wet. And just to take off some of the excess, but it gives it just a really nice touch. That little gold bird sitting there was something I purchased from Temu a long time ago. I used it in my spring decor, but I thought it looked really cute with this, so why not? And there I'm just kind of wiping it back, wiping everything back. As I said, I do this on almost everything except for the black pieces, and just to give it that special little vintage, older look that I am trying to achieve with all of this. Y'all, if you can hear a football or noise in the background, I do apologize. My family is here and they are doing their best to be quiet, but they live here too. So we're doing our best to get things done, and I'm trying not to interrupt them and they're trying not to interrupt me. But like I said, I am just working on getting this Waverly wax paint all over everything and wiping it back just to give it that look that we are going for. I just think it is so beautiful with all these little vintage transfers that we're using. It just goes really well with it. Now I pulled out my little stamps that have been used time and time and time again. I got these from Amazon a couple of years ago. They're very small, they were very inexpensive, so they only work on certain projects, but I have found them to be very, very useful. I had it in my mind that I wanted it to say joy, and so that's what I did. Okay, this is Rub and Buff, and if you had like a gold, I think they call it gilding wax, I don't know. If you had that, it would work the same. Well, I don't know if it would work the same. I've never used gilding wax, but I think it gives the same look anyhow. So I am going to put this gold Rub and Buff. I'm just using a sponge, like a makeup sponge type applicator. And I do this to a lot. Anything like with color on it. I don't necessarily do it to the white pieces. I don't want to overdo it. I go a little heavy-handed in some of them, but it just gives this perfect touch. If you could see the detail in these, it turns just a plain old wooden piece into something that looks absolutely beautiful, paired with these trees and those old chair spindles that were worn. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but so I'm glad that I remembered it was in there. And and it just meshes everything so well. I'm putting it on our little presents, and it just gives everything, it ties everything together. And so it is going on all of it. This white wax is from DIY paint. I don't know. DIY is the brand. I get mine from a local little shop here. I don't purchase it very often. That little tiny jar of white wax I've had for probably a year. And if it keeps, I bet I could get another year out of it. So that is our Santa. I'm going to do the same thing on our little bird, our cardinal. On our cardinal's face, I did darken the eyes and the beak slightly, just so that they would stand out. And I am no artist, y'all, so I just kind of did my best. I just wanted all the little feathers and the little things to stand out on our cute cardinal. She isn't as red as she started out, but I don't know. I think that it works. So we are using some gold, just simple ribbon, to tie a little bow onto our presents. And I'm also going to use some, well, I thought about using like some berries, like berry picks that I got from Hobby Lobby, but they were just a different color red that wasn't really working for me in this one. So I went with why do I want bells? My word, y'all. Bells. And I'm using these little... Why can't I think of a word for anything? I'm gluing one to that one. I'm gluing a red one to this one. And, there's no rhyme or reason to doing any of this. I just think it looks cute. So, that's just what I wanted to do. Some of these, I could have even, like this one in particular, that's what made me think of it. I could have done double-sided. As oftentimes on a tiered tray, you can see all sides. I'm going to peel up this sticker. I realized I had not done that. I also did not paint the bottom. But that is going to have to just be, I'm going to have to let that go. Because at this point, I'm already late. And I was just like, well, nobody's going to flip it over. There's no sense in using it the other way. So, we're going with it. I'm gluing on all of these just for the little legs of our riser. I didn't measure. I didn't do anything special. I just stuck them on where I thought they would look good. I'm gluing in our bottle brush trees with some hot glue. And those things are so dang cute. I think I need to make like a whole village, a whole wonderland of trees. They are so darling. This was one of my favorite parts of the project. So, yeah, we have a tiny one, a medium-sized one, and a little bit of a bigger one. None of them are like large size that you can get some at like Hobby Lobby, or I think I've heard they don't have them at my Dollar Tree, but I've heard Dollar Tree has great bottle brush trees this season. Those would be fun to get my hands on, but in this case we're just using these. So I'm gonna glue on like a little red bell, and I think I have like a silver and a gold too that I pop on here, just decorating our little present and our gifts. And these were really cute too. They're just kind of space fillers. This is a large. The tier tray that I choose to use in this project is one that I made, that I built and cut the wood and measured and did. I made it for the purpose of having something just a little bit bigger than the ones that I have one from. Well, I have two from Hobby Lobby. I have one from Walmart. And this one was just a little bit different shapes, and it was a little bit bigger. Plus, I just wanted to make one. I like doing stuff like that. So I do have a lot of room on this tier tray to fill. So that's why I can do so many projects. And I decided I was going to put the gold on our presents. So, okay. I went a little heavy-handed on that red one, as you can see. It's okay. I put it on the bottom. It's fine. Just tying a little bow. This ribbon, I think, came from Hobby Lobby. No. Amazon. It was a 2-pack because I got a silver. It came with gold and silver. So, y'all, we are about done. We are wrapping this up. I'm just gonna pop off some pictures of each item. Those are just our little things mixed with our cardinal. Every single one of them is so beautiful, y'all. Now, I know this isn't everybody's style. It's not always my style. I feel like I don't even know my style because I like so many different things. I usually go for like the more fun and colorful and whimsical decor at Christmas, but I have really enjoyed making this and creating these projects. And there is our jar. I did go with the candies. They are individually wrapped, so not being tainted. This is our Sienna with the music notes, and we have ourselves a beautiful tiered tray. Thank you all so much for being here and for joining me, for hanging out with me. And this is day 10. We will be back for day 11 and 12, and then we are done for our 12 days of DIYs. Thank you to Brenda. Make sure you check out her channel. It will be linked below, as well as the playlist with the other amazing creators that are joining us. And y'all have